Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to Four Guys in a Bar podcast, sponsored by Chiefs Blitz and presented by Dave Purdy with Supreme Lending. For your mortgage solutions, call Dave today at 816-405-5831. That's 816-405-5831 because he's pretty good. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Welcome to the next edition of Four Guys in the Bar, presented by Chiefs Blitz. I'm your host, Nick Athan, former publisher of Warpaint Illustrated. And I think on my screen is my partner, Mr. Hense Todd, with Bowtie Sports. Of course, we're all talking about the eclipse. They're my glasses. It took me forever to find them yesterday, so thought we'd start with a little humor this morning. Anyway, Hense, so welcome to the show. You can catch his show every Saturday, 1 o'clock. With the coach, Andre Tillman, at Bowtie Sports. Check it out on YouTube. Subscribe. Also, please subscribe to Chiefs Blitz. So, before we get started, I want to talk about my good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes, with the Eric Haynes Group. He is your real estate professional. You can reach Eric at 816-729-3785 or eSalesKC@gmail.com. If you're looking for a trusted real estate advisor, this is your guy. If you're looking for someone who can work with somebody like me to buy a house, this is your guy. It's been quite a process with our house hunting and getting everything done and finished up. And Eric's been there every step of the way. And that's what you want. You want someone who has a steady hand, who has a steady pace, who understands the ups and the downs and the emotions attached with trying to find the right house for your family. You want someone dedicated and someone you could trust. And that man is Mr. Eric Haynes. Give him a call at 816-729-3785 or eSalesKC@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor, Chief Who?
Yes. There's our other compadres. Mr. Lou Montagna also sporting the glasses. Now, he's in the epicenter
I'm ready.
Of the eclipse. However, it's a little cloudy where he's at. And then the coach, Andre Tillman, there as well. Gentlemen,
what's going on?
Welcome to the solar eclipse edition of Four Guys in a Bar. A lot of schools out today. Some banks are closed today. Kind of a weird vibe out there. I don't know where you guys are at, but about 5 o'clock this morning, the birds were just going bat crazy, chirping, squeaking loud. I mean, it was just like, I thought I was in the movie The Birds. It was just, that sound was just so vast. And I thought, man, what is going on today? And I remembered it was the eclipse. So, and right now you couldn't hear a bird chirp anywhere near where I'm living right now. And we're in a bunch of trees. So it's kind of a weird vibe out here.
Big day here, guys. The population of our little town here is tripled, I believe. They're expecting an additional 200,000 people to just show up. My daughter was driving home from Pittsburgh last night. She said she was seeing license plates from all over coming north on I-79. So pretty wild day for Erie, PA.
Yeah, that's awesome. What's it like up in Kansas City, guys?
Well, I don't know, because I know they got school out here, so I know my kids they're at school right now, and so I heard the birds chirping this morning, but I didn't think that of it. It was like five something this morning. I was like, well, I didn't really think nothing of it, but now you say that, I was like, oh, okay.
Well, you were grinding tape at that time, so
yeah, probably
nothing's gonna spoil that that focus.
Hey, I'm locked in. The world could be shaking, the world be in, and I'm still editing. I'm still doing what I gotta do.
NFL draft.
Hey, we got the draft to focus on, guys. We have the draft to focus on, so that's what I'll be going at with it for now. So
yeah, we're 3 weeks and 3 days away from the NFL draft. It's going to be, I think this is the one time, if you're a Chiefs fan, you can look at it and say, well, they could go any direction. We talked about this on Friday. We'll be talking about it a lot over the next 3+ weeks to get you ready for day one, which will be 3 weeks from Thursday and day one. And what more can you ask for? Or 2 weeks, I guess. the Chiefs are in the catbird seat. They could make a trade. They could get a wide receiver. They could get a tackle. They could get a defensive tackle. They could trade out of the first round completely. We just don't know what they're going to do. And we kind of know that Brett Veach is kind of a gambler. And there was an interesting news article today before we jump into some of the other things. But Cee Dee Lamb from the Dallas Cowboys has told officials that he may skip the OTAs and mini camps because he wants a new deal. Does that mean he wants to be traded as well? Stephon Diggs got out by saying the magic words. Jefferson is still with the Vikings. And I don't know. For me, this guy seems like he'd be a perfect fit for the Chiefs. I think he makes a lot of sense. I mean, Jerry Jones has an affinity for trading wide receivers for peanuts, and I think he would be a perfect fit for Kansas City. And yeah, it'd probably cost them their first round pick, obviously, and maybe the 3 next year they got from Snead. But are they going to find anybody better in the first round? Now, granted, they're going to have to pay him, but I don't know, man. He makes plays, as Andre and I was talking before the show. Right. He's a playmaker, and you want playmakers. And I know it's just me. I'm throwing it out there. I heard a little chatter. I'm not saying the Chiefs are going to do anything, but I certainly wanted to, get your guys' thoughts.
Hard to see Dallas walk away from a playmaker like that, right? I mean, but I think he may be kind of joined at the hip with Dak. It depends on what they decide to do with him. If I don't know. I mean, the way Jerry Jones is talking, you would have thought that extension would have been done now versus later if they're going to keep him. But maybe they roll the dice and say, hey, we'll play out this year. We haven't been able to get beyond the first round of the playoffs with Dak, and we're overpaying for average. And that's how you get effed up in this league, is overpaying for average, especially at the quarterback position. So, if they bring Dak back, I think they almost have to have CD there for him. Otherwise, it's even more wasted money.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I think. Go ahead, Bo.
I think it'd be an amazing fit for Kansas City if that does happen. If they're going to trade for somebody, you know what I mean. And I feel like if it's Cee Dee Lamb out there, Drake London could be somebody that's
that's a possibility.
A possibility on that block. So if guys like that, Cee Dee Lamb, if we talking about trades. If a veteran, I would, take a Drake, Drake London. I'd take a Drake London, 6'5". You got great little speed, got hands. He ain't, have like the best years, right? That's the type of players I see like Brett Veach going after.
That makes sense.
Somebody that's,
So let's look at the youngest, brightest wide receivers in the league and just expect them to be traded to the Chiefs.
I'm just saying, like if it was to happen, like if it
was to happen, I would imagine Jamar Chase would be a great fit too.
I'm just saying, like if they had,
I hear you.
Wait till T. Higgins gets traded before the draft.
But see, here's the skinny though. Cee Dee Lamb is a superstar. I mean, he's like up there with the JJs.
Right. So,
and the Chiefs don't really need that for real. They don't need because they're already dealing with what they got now. Yeah, they don't need them at all.
Yeah, but that would be a knockout punch for the AFC.
Right.
Most definitely.
Between the draft capital and what they have to pay him, and again, you don't have like be a wet blanket, but I just think the history shows us that's not what the way they're building this team. And the first step.
That's why I said Drake London.
The first step was trading away Tyreek. So now the next step is going to be bringing in that number one receiver that they develop. And I think Rashee Rice is on his way to being that guy. And now they add somebody else this year. Hopefully one of the other guys on the roster steps up. So, yeah, I mean, be great. I mean, great for a show like this. So we can talk about it and get like all crazy about what the possibilities would be. But it's hard to one, see Dallas putting him up on the market. Two, Veach going all in on a wide receiver when, they've got other people to pay. And they've already shown the ability to win without, a superstar at wide receiver.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, all your points are valid, guys, and I totally agree. And like I said, it's just a shock value to the AFC.
Sure.
It's kind of what, the Ravens thought they did by signing Beckham, and the rumor that Beckham's going to the Dolphins has been going on for a week and a half, and they still haven't got to come close to an agreement. Doesn't mean he won't end up there. And I'd even take OBJ for, a vet minimum and maybe, $5 million in incentives. But I don't know. I think the fact that the Veach has kind of kept, for the most part, his defense together. Snead's replaceable. Willie Gay's replaceable. Mike Edwards is replaceable. So they've kind of filled those gaps in those pieces. They got Hollywood Brown, who, from all reports, indicates that he and Patrick are already simpatico, in sync, and they are working their tail off. He's been down there virtually every day he can to work with Patrick, which tells me a lot of how badly this kid wants to win and how badly he wants to shrink the learning curve with Patrick Mahomes once the pads get on and they start playing real games. So, I mean, they really, outside of left tackle, don't have a need, and they could do anything they wanted to at this point. So, again, just something I heard this morning, not saying it's going to happen. About 99.9% of what I hear is conjecture, thoughts, opinions from people who are kind of sort of on the peripheral of what is known, what isn't known. But the bottom line is these people I've been longstanding trust with for a long time. So to me, hey, if Lamb is available, I say you make a run for it. If Jerry Jones traded who's that receiver they got from the Raiders? I'm sorry, I'm going blank.
Amari
to the Browns. Cooper for like a 5th round pick, and then Cooper got a new contract. I mean, if I'm Veach and they offer that kind of deal, you do it in a heartbeat. And Jerry Jones does not want him to play in the NFC. That's for certain. And if he trades him to the Chiefs, but then again, Jerry Jones is also the guy who's on board with the mayor saying they want the Chiefs to move to Dallas, which isn't going to happen. But nonetheless, I again, kind of going on too far here. I think it'd be a great opportunity and a good fit.
Right. You think the Hunts would like that? Going back to Dallas?
No, that's a bunch of BS.
Building another Taj Mahal stadium.
No, Derrick Jones would never allow that. And you're talking about Texas money for a stadium, for a cathedral that the Chiefs should build in Texas is probably going to be close to $4 to $5 billion. Yeah. If they go to Kansas City, Kansas, which is kind of the rumor, they're probably looking at about $3 billion to build a stadium, a dome, a training complex, Hall of Fame, probably be some sort of casino, like a Caesars probably would kind of, be part of it or attached, to the facility in some way. They'd have a lot more control in Kansas City, Kansas than I think they would in Dallas. And remember, a lot of people don't remember, Jerry Jones ran out of money. He went way above and beyond the scope of the financial plan that they put together. And even the local banks are saying, no more money, Jerry. And he had to have a mad scramble to get it completed. So I don't think the Chiefs are in that position right now. I don't think they're putting themselves in entertaining anything that is either Kansas City, Missouri somewhere, or Kansas City, Kansas, or maybe Johnson County. The Royals have made it clear they're not talking to the city. They're pretty pissed off. Both husband and wife of the Sherman family made some comments. The Chiefs don't appear, according to Nate Taylor, have any interest in talking to the city anymore. And then you got Mayor Lucas out there doing his political stuff. Well, maybe it's time that they do maybe get, one goes to another state and the other one stays here, and hopefully it's in Kansas City, Kansas. I mean, listen, it's no secret Kansas City, Kansas has the money to lure the Chiefs. It's just a matter of getting it done. But to answer your question, Lou, absolutely zero chance they're going to go to Dallas or they're going to go to San Antonio. There's zero chance the Royals are going to Nashville.
Full circle moment for the Hunt family.
They may not be in the same state. We're probably going to learn that here relatively quick, I would think. But they're still going to be in the area, and that's all that matters. So that's the one thing about what Lucas said that I agree. Everything else of his politics is just It's
again,
not logical.
Like I said before, if you're a businessman and it's a stadium that your daddy built and your mom built, now I know both of them not here no more. So where do Clark Hunt stands on? Me. But I feel like me seeing them when I was there at the stadium when they was talking about redoing everything, but he was talking off to the side that they don't want to leave Kansas City. They're not going to want to, take down something that his dad and mom built. You know what I mean? So I think that's a factor that is probably a bond that they're going to have with the Kansas City and with the fans. Is something that his father built. That's a legacy that he built here in Kansas City. All they rings and championships came here.
They're going to exhaust every possible avenue to stay at Arrowhead, in my opinion. I mean, I was just joking around. They started in Dallas. I think the Hunt family's from. Isn't Lamar from Dallas or in that neighborhood?
Yep.
So no, I mean, Arrowhead is their home. I mean, literally, doesn't he have a home built inside of Arrowhead?
Yeah, it's pretty spectacular. At least I saw the Carl Peterson version when Lamar was alive, and I saw that whole 2-story cathedral of a mansion inside Arrowhead. And,
yeah, it's not.
I haven't seen it since the renovation. Since the renovations have been done, just some pictures. But yeah, I mean, hey, if the money's right. And they can get a dome and a commitment from the NFL for a Super Bowl and be in the Final Four rotation. Then you got concerts. You got wrestling events. There's nothing they can't do.
Luke got us off topic. We've all been talking about Cee Dee Lamb.
I know. We're talking about Cee Dee Lamb. Hey, that's the beauty of the show.
Yeah. Because it seems dreamlike is all, right?
But go ahead, man. Speaking of people that's coming, want to be here at Arrowhead, we have, somebody's visit on a top 30 visit in our state hall, D tackle. Chris Jones. You know what I mean? It's a deal that they signed with Chris Jones. They got him a 5-year deal. Basically, it's a 3-year deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the guy was 6'3", 290 pounds. Very athletic. You know what I mean? He's physical in the middle. So, what do you say about this, Coach Dre? What you got to say about it?
Michael Hall, right? Michael Hall is a solid guy with a D tackle, right? D tackle in the middle. I mean, he's a decent guy from Ohio, man. He's a good clogger. Can help out with the run game. Hope to learn from Chris Jones, and maybe be productive. But we don't know what these guys can bring to the table until they get on the field, until they really step in on the field. So,
yeah, he seems. I don't know that much about him, but he seems a little smaller than most defensive tackles from a height perspective, and certainly the girth. But apparently, he's got some decent speed and can take on double teams, and that's really what you want your defensive tackle to be able to do. And can he bounce inside and outside? That remains to be seen. Right. Listen, whoever they bring in at this point, we have no idea whether it's a smoke screen or not. The Chiefs have done terrific in kind of bringing guys in they probably won't draft, but they want to take a look at, or guys they didn't spend any time with the combine. And in some instances, they didn't talk to these guys at the combine or bring them in for a visit, and they ended up drafting him. So at the end of the day, it's a lot of cloak and dagger right now. But nose tackle, defensive tackle, I think those are areas in which the Chiefs could certainly use more depth.
Well, in terms of, you always hear, it's a copycat league. You've got the defensive coordinator from the Ravens, Mike Macdonald, that's the head coach now at Seattle. You got Jesse Minter, who was the former defensive coordinator in Michigan, going down to LA with Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
And basically their style of defense is kind of, they do everything inside out, and it's old school. So it's not really new, but in terms of trying to have two dominating defensive tackles up front to make you one dimensional. So of course, the Chiefs have the one, so it doesn't take an Einstein to say, hey, they probably want to, add to that position. Noddy, I think, was a 1 year deal. All these guys are, 1 year deals, except for Danna, and he's an end. But one guy that you haven't heard a lot about, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it seems like over the last few years, Illinois turned out a lot of good defensive players, especially in the defensive backfield.
Right.
But in terms of a tackle, Jerzon Newton, who I think if he was at Michigan or Ohio State, you'd be hearing about him like in the top 12 or 15. But he's a guy that if he starts to tumble a little bit, into the 20s, and we've been talking about this trade up possibility with the extra third that they got for this in the Snead trade, that I could certainly see the Chiefs saying, okay, I tell you what, there's going to be receivers in the second round. We don't like the tackles that have fallen to this point offensively. Let's get the D tackle and really, just add to a strength. So again, it's not sexy, whatever, best player available, yada, yada, yada. But that's what this team is. They put themselves in position to do. So in terms of Hall, I think he would be a good rotational player as well. It's just, you get 30, right? So you can bring in all 30 guys. And to Nick's point, there's all sorts of stuff going on in terms of selling one thing and really looking for something else.
Selling one thing and buying another.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the guys from like the one guy Lou just mentioned, he's underrated. You know what I mean? If he was at other schools, everybody would be all over him. But so. It's a type of and everybody. I know Nick said that he's Mitchell was undersized, but Aaron Donald was undersized too. It's a lot of good defense.
He turned out okay.
That turned out okay. So hey, if Hall comes in, and be a monster, or they probably can get him in the second round. I feel like when I seen him, his draft capital, projecting this in the second and third round. But so why not? Bring him in to see what you can get out of him, see what he can interact with the coaches, what he can answer on the visit, see what type of kid he is, his background and everything else. But again, this draft is gonna be fun. You can't wait to it's gonna happen. And everybody's gonna be on board, man, to see see what the Chiefs. I'm telling you, like I told everybody, it's the next thing biggest thing to the Super Bowl.
Honestly, real quick, Michael Hall, man, he's okay. He only had like one sack, I believe, in this season, his last season. He's a project guy. He's a guy that he's gonna go in the later rounds. If the Chiefs do want somebody for depth, he's a depth guy. He's a project depth guy. So. That's all I see from him, but I don't see really nothing really stands out other than he's gonna just be a project guy. So, but who knows? He might come out there and be a stud. I don't know, but right now he's just a project guy. If they want to go there,
well, he's got the benefit of working with Joe Cullen, so you got the best defensive line coach in the National Football League. Hey, I want to touch on a few comments for some of the topics we've talked about. Joseph Fasotsky. We either need to trade up for a tackle or down for a wide receiver. I think we're totally in agreement on that one. Cee Dee Lamb would be an awesome fit, but I think it's a pipe dream. No one will trade with KC. Caesar Arias, welcome, Caesar. I don't think we've seen you before. If we have, apologize for that. Left tackle should be priority one. I'll get to Anonymous Mango last, but John Harrison wrote something out that's pretty funny. On a different podcast this weekend, it was said, Kansas has a lot of gambling money to build a stadium. I said to them, if Kansas is using gambling money, Missouri should use legal weed money. Rolling Bones and Mary Jane can build a lot of stadiums. I love it. And
the new American economy.
The new American economy.
Weed and gambling.
Just to clarify for John, that money is just beginning. But over 30 years of the lease of a contract or lease of a new stadium with the Chiefs, that's a significant chunk of change. And the added gambling that would happen if the Chiefs go out there is going to be insane. Tad Schroeder says, trade for a wide receiver. I don't see any team making a fair trade with the Chiefs. That would make us better, not to mention the assets and the contrast kind of make it a bad idea. And then Anonymous Mango, he sent me this tip this morning as well. Are the Chiefs wrapping up a new signing at the Clyde Edwards-Hilaire's presser today? They said they were on track to do another one on Wednesday, or could that be Mike Danna's press conference?
And they typically don't announce those things.
Yeah, like, they don't make them. I would assume it's
tip their hand.
Yeah. It's probably going to be Mike Danna talking on Wednesday to the media. Now, Brett Veach and Andy Reid will usually have a press conference prior to the draft. I don't think it's going to be this soon. It's usually about a week out, and then they go dark silent. But I think that that's probably what it is. And one more comment from my buddy Nick. The problem is most of the marijuana is going to vets. It's like 85% of the profits. So yeah, it's a thin margin. But at the end of the day, Kansas has the cash. They've got the star bonds. They built facilities like this. They built Sporting KC. They built the NASCAR track, which is only used twice a year, which is kind of crazy from all the money that they spent to build it. But nonetheless, it could be pretty cool. We'll see what happens.
That's a lot of left turns, Nick.
I know. That's a lot of left turns. Well, it's actually coming out of Arrowhead. Yeah, it's a left turn. So yeah.
I meant the racetrack, but I hear you. I got you.
but a lot of speaking of a lot of left turns, there's a lot of people turning back to the WWE to watch wrestling main event. They said it's one of the biggest events that happened. With besides the Super Bowl. You spotted some of our guys there, Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, and the former Kansas City Chiefs. He was there too, with the Undertaker there. So Pat McAfee and all those guys, everybody interested in it. So what you got to say about the tag team duo here at the WrestleMania? What you got to say about it, Coach Drake? This is your
man. Listen. First of all, this is WrestleMania. Let's get it out the way, Nick. You know how the first WrestleMania, how big it was. This is like the biggest spectacle. This is like beyond the draft. This is WrestleMania we're talking about here. And of course, I mean, you can see the fanfare from Smith, Humphreys, the Kelseys. I mean, this is something huge, man. But as you can see, everybody loves wrestling. Fake or not, Nick, everybody loves wrestling. This is what it is. This is what it is. It's entertainment, Nick. It's entertainment. Football's entertainment. Movies are entertainment. It's entertainment. You gotta love it, but that's how big it is, man. You know how much those seats cost? Front row seats. That's dedication. That's dedication to the sport of wrestling. Because we all love wrestling. We all the Hulk Hogan's, the John Cena's, the Rocks, the Austins. Way back and further than that.
A lot further back for me when they were
Ric Flair, Dusty. Come on, Dustin Rhodes. What we're talking about here.
And speaking of that, man, who if you had your WWE and then you got to enter the ring and then the Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey as tag team partners, what's gonna be the perfect match D-line of them two going up against?
Lane Johnson and Lane Johnson. You talking about like offensive tackle versus offensive tackle
versus defensive tackles?
Oh, that's Aaron Jones. I'll take Aaron Jones. Let me see, Aaron Jones.
Hey,
why not?
Aaron Jones was a former, state champion wrestler here.
That's true. There it is. See, good point. Aaron Jones, a former wrestler. Hey, Aaron Jones. I might go Mr. Green. I might take Chris Jones. Aaron Jones and Chris Jones. Why not?
Aaron Donald. Sorry.
Aaron Donald.
Thank you, Lou. I got WrestleMania on the brain. Lou, I'm sorry. Last night was crazy. I got it on the brain.
Okay, so explain this to me again, because my views on wrestling go way back to the 60s and 70s. It's a lot different. It was all staged. It was orchestrated. Everybody was in on it. But today, I mean, it's a show. It's a concert. It's got a script. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, there's nothing natural about it. The winners are predetermined. Yes.
Right. Yes.
I mean, so it's just like, but still, hey, kudos to creating the experience. And again, it's the last of the gladiator sports or sporting events, even though it's staged and the outcome is relatively predictable because the outcome could be predictable for someone unexpected to win, which just sets up what? The next WrestleMania and the rematch. And, you know, that's how the whole Rocky movie empire was built, you know, rematch and all these different scenarios. So listen, props. I think it's a cool event. I have actually been to one. You know, I found it, you know, kind of interesting. It was like just going to a football game, yeah, it's.
Let me take you back, Nick, real quick.
It's taking a life of its own.
Do you remember Bruiser? Remember Bruiser Brody?
No.
See, that's when it was blood. It was blood, Nick. Back in the day, it was some blood shedding going on.
Was it real blood, Coach?
Oh, it was real blood. Remember the butcher? remember the butcher? The butcher got nothing but slashes on top of his forehead. You know, that was real stuff now.
Yeah,
but
I'm not saying some of it was. I'm not saying some of it isn't real, and I'm not saying that some of it isn't less staged, because I think if you're a competitor, regardless of how much money you're getting paid to be on one end of the fight or the other, your juices have to be going, and
absolutely.
I really want to win this. You know, maybe I'll just piss everybody off and go all in.
Absolutely.
Well, it's like scripted, but kind of ad lib too. I like the fact that they're taking a page of the NFL book, where now they extended it out to 2 days. It's at an outdoor stadium. Sure. They had it at the link. From all reports, I mean, obviously sold out both days. Just a tremendous event. Great marketing strategy. They really pushed the stars. Absolutely. And they're great performers, right? Yep. Not just in the ring, but also behind the mic, because they can get people hyped up. They're very interesting guys, to say the least. A lot of them love football, so that's always a good thing too. And the football players loved going. So
Kittles is a big fan. Absolutely, Kittle's a big fan. But
if you look at this picture, man, how big Kareem Humphrey got to be, man. He make Undertaker was a big guy, man. I like, God dang it. He got to be real. Undertaker's a big guy, and these guys making him look small. But again, but look at it like Drake said, my guys, back in the day when I was watching with Stone Cold, but my guy was Undertaker. Nobody was like Undertaker. He come out, he shut down the whole scene. The stadium goes.
It was the mystique of the Undertaker. It was the mystique in the vision, the thought, the imagination. Like, is he really like this for real? And that's what it is, Nick. It's captured the imagination of the fan.
He came back from the dead.
Yeah, you like what? Really? Like,
So did Jon Snow.
No, man. It just captured the imagination.
Somebody's got to be on that wall.
Yeah.
But again, the guys love it. Everybody's loving it. Cee Dee, I like seeing the guys. They still hang together, not outside of football. Still going to events together. They let you know the chemistry.
Taylor Swift caught a stray. I don't know who the wrestler was, but when Jason Kelce was in the ring, evidently he said, "Well, who's this guy? What? He's like that singing chick's brother-in-law or something." So, little zinger there.
Jason's everywhere right now, isn't he? He's there. He is being wooed by, Prime and Thursday Night Football, Monday Night Football. CBS
is amazing. His
Fox is after him. And now they're talking about
make some money. Yeah.
Now they're talking about doing a reality show, Kardashian style, with all the Kelce's.
Hey, I'll watch that. I'll watch it.
I would watch that. Why not?
I think what reason I watch is Jason Kelce, his wife, like her demeanor, her attitude.
Yeah,
I like to see like.
I want to see her pissed off at him. I think it would be great.
I don't think she's feeling the reality thing at all. I don't think.
Yeah, that's the thing I want to watch, because I know she'd be uncomfortable.
She was at the women's Final Four in Cleveland.
She was.
A little spotlight there. That was pretty cool.
I think she's more into it than people realize, but I think she's been drawn into it now. There's no escaping. I mean, this thing is only going to get, it's only going to get more. I mean, the fact that they, Travis and Taylor have just kind of stood the storm. I mean, you're talking about a massive amount of media they're still going strong, and who knows, but they're going to have every opportunity out there to maximize the cash, and the Kelsey family they're going to cash in, and why not? I would rather watch them than the Kardashians any day of the week. I tell you that.
Speaking of cash in, go ahead and cash in with if you're on the edge, don't know what you want to do, cash in with Dave.
There you go.
Go ahead.
All right, let's talk about my friend Mr. Dave Purdy I almost said it, with Edge Home Finance. That's his new company. Dave is your trusted expert when it comes to finding the right mortgage to fit your situation. As many of you have heard my journey in this life to get a new house, I am self-employed. So you need someone who has a lot of loan options for self-employed individuals. Hey, this isn't the old days when you used to go to the bank and you had a relationship with the bank president and said, hey, I need a mortgage. He says yes. He signs off on it. 2 weeks later, you're closed and you're in your house. It's a lot more complicated these days. Interest rates are flying up and down. You got to, certain times of the day, you got to know which rates are the best, and you got to act fast. So you need an expert. So give Dave a call at 816-405-5831. You can email him also at dave.purdy@edgehomefinance.com. We love Dave because he is pretty good.
Can we get Dave a red jacket, please? Let's get him
the
a red
blue.
jacket.
The blue works. The blue works.
Well, the blue on blue now, it kind of washes them out.
We're Royals fans here, so
let's get him a red.
I can respect that.
Wow. Let's do red. Let's have Dave wear.
I don't want to give Lynn any more work on the artwork. He's done Lynn Smith, Weird Wolf, my buddy. He does all of our.
You're the master Photoshopper. You could just put that Hank Strand or Lamar, the black.
Should get the black blazer.
There you go.
I gotta get me one of those, man. I have to have one of those. I know. Dan, the Taylor man. He makes them in Kansas City. I need to get one of those.
Could you imagine finding Hank Stram's jacket? What that would be worth?
I'm sure it's.
I'm kind of surprised you don't have it, Nick.
I have seen it firsthand, up close, very close when I was a kid, but no, I don't have it. I've got a one of a kind Hank Stram in Lenny Dawson signed program from the very first 101 banquet that I will never part with, and I've got some other stuff from Hank, but hey. Hank was dapper, man. He was all class.
The
players,
the red vest under the jacket.
Yeah,
sure.
when the players used to stay at the Glenwood Manor Hotel off Metcalf, it was the night before, and Hank was adamant: you wear suits and tie, and you look dapper walking into that hotel room or into the hotel. And he made sure every player was wearing a suit outside, before the game and after the game. You didn't leave like these guys do now, except for Harrison Buckner, who always looks great. His attire is just top shelf. But man, those are the days. But you're right, man. I would really like to have one of those jackets.
Baby. Yeah. His outfit's straight from Savile Row.
There you go.
It's the eclipse today, guys. But you know me, and everybody in the comments and what the Chiefs are going to do with the first round pick is they going to do here. Let me get to tell you guys. I know y'all hear me. Y'all know
here it comes.
He's gonna be there. But look at it through the future. The bread and rice is coming in there.
The crystal ball spoken.
Let me put on the future glass. Look, I'm speaking, guys.
There you go. Forget all the conjecture. Forget all the conjectures. It's already in the cards.
I'm in the lab. I'm writing it down, as you can see. I'm in the future, and I'm seeing this guy's going to the future, guys. He's going to be a Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, everybody want to say, hey, Xavier Leggett, this person, that person, but Brandon Rice. I had to do it, Drake. I had to do it. You know what I mean? Hey, bring it in.
I feel the energy. I feel the energy.
So looking at this, guys, so go ahead and ask some of the questions, Drake. A lot of people ask the questions in the chat.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me go up here. So.
Future there.
All right. Namas Manga, how do you guys feel about taking Xavier Leggett at 64 if he's there? I think we should take a big body receiver this time around instead of small and fast. Give us a different profile of a receiver. I agree with that. I definitely agree with it.
I don't think he's going to be there at 64, but yeah, I mean,
I mean, as far as taking a big body receiver, I do understand.
He certainly could be. I mean, what would you say Rashee Rice is? He's a little bit bigger receiver, isn't he?
He's more of a slender, slender guy.
He's not
slender.
He's not short. He's not small by any stretch. So, but yeah, I mean, we like Leggett. It really depends on how many receivers go in the first round. Are they going to get pushed down because everybody's thinking they can get one later? Right now, again, I think those first 3 are going to go for sure, probably in the top 12. But then it gets interesting to see what the league really thinks about these guys. We all think, hey, they're great. We're going to see 7 or 8 of them. Hard to say. If the fewer we see, the more opportunity that Xavier Leggett is available at 64. And if that's the case, and he's the best one that they like, I wouldn't turn it down for sure.
No, you can't have enough. I mean, we'll go back to Anonymous again. Hollywood Brown followed Donovan Smith on Instagram. Maybe he knows something we don't. I have not heard that at all, but I wouldn't be opposed to that either.
He's still out there.
Yeah.
So there's no real market for him, so they can get him cheap.
It's a real market. He's a 2-time Super Bowl champ, and he coming back to the Chiefs. Yeah, as long as he get his neck fixed, wherever was going on with that, I feel like he could be a great pickup if we do have that. If he does come back, and he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion. One more question here from Dre from Lego. He said, "I remember the Iron." What did go ahead and read it, Dre?
I remember the Iron Sheik, the Bushwhackers, the Austin Warrior, and the Great Kamala. Most definitely, Kamala Dungeon of Doom. Austin Warrior was an entertainer, Nick. He was a guy that couldn't wrestle to save his life, but he was an entertainer. He was a great entertainer. Now Hulk Hogan was the best of both worlds.
I know who he is.
That's right. That man was the best of both worlds. But anyway, yeah, wrestling is beautiful. It's just entertainment. It's all
right? Who's that? What's it, Ted? What's this one right here? Somebody go ahead and read that one, Nick.
Do you think we'll have another free agent signing before the draft? I'd be more comfortable if we had a veteran left tackle sign rather than getting in a bidding war after the draft for Smith or Becton. They both come with baggage. That's the problem. Becton's, I believe, a former first-round pick, hasn't been signed. He has not lived up to any of the lofty draft position. Injuries have played a big part. Smith, listen, he did his job. When he was healthy toward the end of the year, he was average plus, and Holmes didn't really get killed a lot. I mean, he only got sacked once or twice in the postseason, maybe 3 times in 4 games. What's that?
I was saying, hey, Auntie.
Hey, Auntie. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm totally fine if they do that again. I don't think we're gonna. The only free agent signing I think we're going to see is if they take a shot at one of these wide receivers that are available, thinking, with the Rice situation, what's his punishment going to be, how long he's going to be out. I think the Chiefs probably already have a pretty decent idea because they're communicating with the league and vice versa. And he's got a top shelf attorney, so they probably know what the terms are or whatever they're going to work out. Now there's, some of the victims are hiring lawyers. They're going to come after him. Those don't factor into anything other than, coming out of his Rashee Rice's pocketbook. But between agents and attorneys, they'll probably work something out. But I don't see a big free agent signing unless they take a flyer on Beckham or there's a cut that we don't see coming. And generally that happens a couple of weeks before the draft. There's usually 3 or 4 guys that get let go, and maybe they take a look at it. But I think after signing Mike Danna to a 3-year, $24 million contract, getting 12 or 13 million guaranteed, which I thought was a really high amount, but it's basically a 2-year deal worth about 7-8 million or $6 million a year. So I get it; it's probably worth it, but I just don't see it happening. I would be surprised unless they pull off a major trade or something like that.
Yeah, this close to the draft is probably just not going to happen unless, again, it is like a Donovan Smith or somebody that's been here before. If all of a sudden they want to bring McCole Hardman back, which again, it doesn't seem like they're really motivated to do.
I can't hear him.
What's
hey,
that?
My son made a quick entrance into the show.
There's our new first round draft pick.
Baby Nick. Baby
first
Nick.
round
draft pick.
But yeah, so unless it's somebody that's previously been here, it's they're gonna wait till after they see what they get in the draft.
Hey, bring him back in. Let him ask. I want to ask him a question about the how he feels about the eclipse today. Bring him in.
I don't know where he went. He left. He left the room.
Okay, he left the room.
Yeah, I may have to get Mrs. Chiefs Blitz permission for questions.
Okay, but again, look right here. They said they a lot of people saying a Xavier Leggett. A lot of people saying they want a Doomsday. A lot of people want this person, that person, but end of the day, guys, like Dre said last show, leading up into this draft, whoever plays with Mahomes, more likely to, we'll see that they get the best out of them. If they come in and take it serious, we can't have nobody, speed raced in and trying to sell rap CDs and everything else. We just got to have somebody that's going to come in and be focused and be Mahomes ready. And dialed in. That guy look right now is looking like to be Hollywood Brown. Could this be Hollywood chance of redeeming himself? He had an amazing year with the Baltimore Ravens coming out before he got traded over there, coming out that run first offense. Now, then he went over there with the Cardinals and no shots at the Cardinals, but they didn't. It was never a starting quarterback there. It was somebody hurt, this person in, that person in. So now he gets with number 15, the greatest quarterback in the league right now, and we can see what he do. We can see what he do, and maybe the Kansas City Chiefs are looking at that and said, "Hey, if Hollywood shows up and he come out and put a 1,300-yard season, and comes out here and put up amazing numbers, we will sign him to that big contract. He's a quiet kid.
He's quiet. He ain't putting on 1,300. He ain't putting on 1,300. Not with Andy Reid. He's not. Not with Andy Reid. He's not.
He's a family man. He's always he's like one of us. He's like the guys in the bar right now. He's out there with his kids, and he got his wife, and and he plays his video games in his spare time, and he's taking his craft very seriously, as we see right now. He's not on Instagram. He's not doing all this nonsense. He's just posting, hey, I'm here working. I'm out here catching balls. I'm out here trying to reach out to the old team players that they used to play for the Kansas City Chiefs. And he's recruiting too. So,
yep.
Can we see the best years for Hollywood Brown? You know what I mean?
I hope it's long term.
If Rice misses significant time, he's certainly going to get a lot more opportunity.
That's why I say that 1,300 yards is pretty much sound like
it's like, but still, I get that. But at the same time, Reed gonna spread the ball around to everybody, so he's not gonna get that 13. He might get close to 1,000, but he's not gonna get no 13.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to spread it around as much as they tried. I mean, I don't think they're going to focus on more than 3 or 4 wide receivers as their core. And I think if Rashee Rice played a full season with Brown and Kelsey, I think they could each get close to 1,000 yards.
It's happening right now where I'm at. So
the eclipse is about a quarter. It's starting. It's about a quarter way through down here. So
it's getting kind of dark over here. So
yeah, it's definitely changed a little bit here too. So it's all good, man. This is one of the cooler things. And when we were kids, when I was a kid and Lou was a kid, they said, "Hey, don't go outside. You watch it without the." And back then, it was just the box. We didn't really have the glasses option that's available now. And don't look at it. You'll go blind. Of course, as kids, what do we do?
No, you know what it is. You know what it is. It's not an eclipse. It's not an eclipse. You know what's that? You're gonna look up. Everybody gonna put on their sunglasses. You're gonna see the Chief Super Bowl rings. It's just
there it is. That's what it is in the sky.
That's what it is in the sky. You know what I mean? It's not no eclipse. It's the 3-peat. It's coming right in the sky and it's taking over the whole world right now.
Four Super Bowl rings and climbing, and this year they are going for the thumb and the three-peat.
You go look up at the sky, you go like it's getting dark, but it's just big red, just coming across the sun.
He said it's just big red coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can see. I mean, but guys, like honestly, I mean, I do get it though. I do get it, but just Andy Reid just known for just spreading the ball around, and that's what makes the Kansas City Chiefs so dangerous as it is because the ball's spread around. You know, you don't want Hollywood Brown to be the vocal target of the offense going to. You know what I'm saying?
No, it'll be fun to watch him and Rice and Kelsey on the field together whenever that happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be explosive.
I think Travis's usage will probably start to taper off as you kind of saw it last year. Not that he's like injured, but over the years, you know, certainly he is slowing down a bit. Still gets his ass open, but
looked pretty fast in the Super Bowl to me.
Right, exactly. Then then all of a sudden he put it in another gear. So I think that's what you'll see is in the playoffs where he'll kind of pace himself a little bit more and maybe rely on some of the other guys and guys like 50 Shades, of course. You know, we'll see him start to emerge. but no,
that's a guy.
To the Hollywood Brown point is that I think he can get 13 again if you see Rice miss like 6 games.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. I mean, that's going to be a lot to make up. And if one of these other guys doesn't step up, I mean, Hollywood's going to be counted on a lot.
It'll be Hollywood swinging.
That's right.
But again, it's just I want to see guys that take advantage of their opportunity. You know what I mean? Guys, if a guy make a mistake, he slips. You know what I mean? Is you gonna be there to take on the load and take care of your opportunity? Like the undrafted kid, number 27. I keep on forgetting his name. Keep on slipping my mind.
Nico Remigio.
Yeah.
Nico Remigio. He was having a good
training. All we know is he was having a good camp. That's all we know.
It could just be the emergence.
Yeah, it could be.
And Justin Ross are finally going to come around to be the guy. You know what I mean? So again, I like seeing these guys training off season. It's what you're going to do with your craft. Because Larry Fitzgerald, one of the best wide receivers that ever played the game, he always took creed in his craft. His craft, he always on the field, off the field. He always was training. Jared Rice, off the field, always training. Tony Gonzalez, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes got 2 babies. And he always in the lab.
Well, look at you got to throw Tom Brady. You got to throw Tom Brady in there too, sir. Tom Brady,
he's pretty
phenomenal. It's pretty good.
Like these guys, if you're going to be great, you want to be, let me see, like this. You want to be this. You want to have your name on cereal boxes. You want to be that guy. You want to have the crunch magic. You want to be that guy. You got to take this stuff serious. You got to come in the league. You got to come in the league to be great, man. You got to.
Tony G had a pretty telling quote not too long ago, maybe about a year ago, and I mean he was asked, you know, in terms of like percentage of the league were guys that really, really love the game, love the grind, and he said about 10%. I mean, I just thought that was like really telling that. Now, again, he might have been underselling it a little bit, but you would think, I mean, unless you're just so talented that you could roll out of bed and still be, you know, still get paid enough to make a good living and whatever. But there's only a handful of guys that love it so much that they do dedicate every waking moment to getting better.
And that's what you see in Patrick Mahomes, man. Like,
you gotta find those guys.
Right after the Super Bowl, he's in there training. He's so dedicated. He built a whole half football field in his house.
Well, there's no question. He's addicted to being great. I mean, you don't have to worry about him. It's it's really bringing guys along and him kind of elevating them to a mindset that, hey, you're not just here to get paid. We want to be great. We want to be legendary. And, if you want to come along, I'm here for you. But if you don't, you're not going to, you can go play somewhere else. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the tricky thing is those guys are so few and far between that he's got to elevate. And that's the greatness that he is able to elevate other guys.
So as everybody think that we have receiver needs, and it's just from last year. I'm not saying Hollywood gonna be the fix of all fixes, but again,
Right.
As these kids you watch, Dre, that's coming out this draft, who's that guy that you would say that that receiver that your eyes are locked on and saying, hey, this guy's gonna take it serious on the field and off the field. I know
Marvin Harrison, you ain't gotta ask me that. Like I'm telling y'all, like I'm already dialed in. I'm in it. I mean, like I thought the draft here, I'm dialed, man.
I thought he was gonna say Xavier Leggett. I thought
he was too.
No.
That was the perfect tee up to say Brendan Rice. That's
it was.
It was. No, the reason why I say Marvin Harrison again, guys, because he's so well rounded. Nick and Lou, I spent 35 to an hour watching all of Marvin Harrison's catches, all his targets.
He fell asleep, woke up dreaming.
I never like he has the whole package. He went against the best 5-star corners that came out of college. He went against the best. Went against the best defenses. I mean, he was so clutch. He ran every route correctly. When the ball, when it's time to make a money play, he was right there. So for sure hands, man.
But I know. Lou said he thought I was gonna say Brandon Rice, but the guy, I'm just be realistic. Like if Brandon Rice, if he's there, but again, a doomsday. When I seen him in the draft at the draft combine, and he couldn't get them cones right, he was out there hours, still trying to get the right number, out there practicing over and over. People was telling him to go home. They said, okay, you can stick with your number. He said, no, I'm not. He said, I'm not done yet. He just kept going. Them the type of guys that you can see, like Dre's son, Lord Zion. Mm-hmm. Them type of little kids, if you see them like at a young age, like they taking this as serious, and they taking it serious than anybody else. And you over there goofing around, but these guys are taking it serious of their craft. Them the type of guys I'm like, I wanted the Kansas City Chiefs that can match with Patrick Mahomes. And take, I'm not saying the other guys are not doing that. I'm just saying like that would be the perfect match in heaven. Like you have somebody to match your craft, like a wife. You have a wife, you marry somebody, you be in there a year for 15, 17 years. You have somebody, you find somebody to match you, right? Just that's all. Yeah.
Don't find the wrong match. It doesn't work.
Nick, if you do that, Nick, you gotta work at it. You gotta work at it, Nick. If you find the wrong match, guys, it's work. If you love the person, it's work. But let me piggyback off of Marvin Harrison real quick.
Sometimes you trade. Sometimes you
better not say that out loud.
Hey, you gotta make a move.
Sometimes you gotta get your free. Sometimes you gotta go into free agency. Sometimes you gotta
don't get stuck in a bad situation.
No. We're not.
Man, but listen,
we're not doing the marital podcast today.
So who will be your guy, Luke? Who will be your guy? The guy.
Hold on, man. Can I get my point?
He's still going on Marvin Harrison here.
No. Real quick. The reason why I said Marvin Harrison again, and Hense brought up a Dunsday, right? Marvin Harrison has the same amount of yards and percentage-wise after the catch with two different quarterbacks.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Two different quarterbacks. So let that sink in your spirit, Bo. Dunsday had Finks, and Finks was incredible. If you look at all these Daniels, right? Daniels from LSU. Yeah, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the draft. But Marvin did it with two. Who is that quarterback now for Ohio? Who is that quarterback?
I'm just saying, man. I said
kid from Kansas State, right?
Yeah, he transferred.
I don't want to train at the combines.
He transferred, right?
But he still Syracuse.
Absolutely.
Well, you can only catch balls from who's playing behind center. So I hear you, and he's able to adapt. I don't know that it's a big advantage one over the other. I think Rome's going to be just as good, if not maybe a little bit better. Who knows? Malik Neighbors has a chance at it, but again, until you really have that conversation with him, look him in the eye and talk to him. I think there was a very telling quote yesterday. It was a different sport, but Don Staley was talking about recruiting, and they asked her, about talking to recruits and so forth, and she's like, well, if you can tell a kid respects their parents, then they're going to respect you as a coach.
Talk about it. That's right.
I thought that was pretty telling. Now, how you figure that out in a short visit, I don't know, but I thought that was pretty telling. But to go back, I mean, I've been talking about it. I think we talked about it last show, maybe a couple of shows. To me, outside of that top 3 or 4, AD Mitchell has the best opportunity to be in that group, but right now isn't being seen as a guy in the top 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I like AD Mitchell too. I like all the receivers.
But the thing is, imagine being some of these young Chiefs receivers. You have an opportunity. I mean, this is almost unprecedented, where you can make a mark on a Super Bowl winning team twice, right? I mean, we're in the middle of a dynasty, and we still have question marks at a position that you play. And you have every ability. We're giving you every chance to do it. Kadarius Toney, Justin Ross, Sky Moore. It's time to put up or shut up, right? I mean, this is your time. So to have that opportunity in front of you and not take every advantage to get better and put yourself in a position to be that guy, that's a tough deal. You don't want to have those regrets, because there's guys coming. There's guys, they're going to draft other guys. It's not going to be easy even just to make the team. So it's a very interesting spot to be in.
That's what's interesting. And, I've talked about this before, but you make a great point with these rookies, but outside of Hollywood Brown and maybe Juju, those are only 2 veteran receivers that have wanted to come here for just that very thing. A chance to win a Super Bowl, a chance to work with Patrick, and a chance to learn from Andy Reid. I mean, even Juju said it multiple times. He's the best coach he's ever had. And it wasn't even remotely close. And in what he had in Pittsburgh. And Brown embraced that and said, okay, went to his agent and said, listen, I don't need to get rich here.
Sorry to cut you off. But I don't know if New Heights are watching our show, but I said it first. I said the Eclipse is going to be Andy Reid coming across the thing. Then look, they posted it up there. They got. But again,
they must be listening. We take that as an honor.
They must be listening. They must be listening, fellas.
Go ahead.
We'll take any Kelsey Brothers podcast. Love. Maybe I can get Travis. Maybe we'll get some hats made, and maybe we can convince Travis to wear it for 15 seconds. That might boost a few posts.
Hey, was that a slam against Big Red? He can cover the sun.
No, we're not going there.
They got Jason Kelsey coming in with the bear, like we just hanging out the window of Buffalo.
We have a producer that can not only take part in our show, but also keep an eye on what's happening on other YouTube stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
This guy he's on it. We are.
They'll call me TMZ time for nothing.
Damn right, man. I'm telling you.
Updates.
Let's go.
But again, man, what Nick was saying and what everybody was saying, man, you guys have these guys to come in and you take advantage of your opportunity. Ain't no way you got to take advantage. If I was playing receiver and I know a team that need receiver help, I'm going to do everything in my power to play as hard as I can to play with one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah,
I'm going to be that number 1 star. I'm going to take that lead. If I'm Hollywood, I look around like, look, I'm only 27. I'm still young. I ain't reached. I'm 27. I'm still young. I still got speed, and I didn't have that much opportunity. And now I'm compared to what they say is the great, besides Tom Brady and everybody else. I can make this my hometown. I can make this my statement. I can make this my team. Justin Ross, Kadarius Toney, all those guys, I'll be taking it serious. I'll be like, you know what? Like when Nick said you want to partner up, I said, you know what? I pulled Drake to the side, said, we lock it in. We locking in. We're going to do this. We're going in.
Right.
When you get that opportunity, lock in on it. If I'm that wide receiver, I'm locking in. I'm like, hey, I'm eating oatmeal, grits. I'm eating all the healthy stuff. I'm running miles up the hill.
But yeah, I mean, the way grits are made, I'm not really sure I'm 100% sold on that.
Wait, real quick, guys. Are you supposed to put sugar on grits, or is it salt and pepper?
All right, my grits story. So I'm in
whatever works for you, Coach.
I'm in a small town in Alabama somewhere traveling, and I was with this guy, and he goes, "We're gonna go have breakfast." He goes, "Have you ever had grits before?" And I'm like, "No, I don't even know what they are."
My wife loves them. My wife makes it.
So he goes, "We're gonna go to this place." I guess he knew the owner. So I walk up there, and the lady at the counter, looked like Aunt Jemima, and she was wonderful and so sweet. She goes, "Boy, you never had grits before?" She goes, "You like our grit. You're gonna like my grits." So I'm watching her make this, and she literally sticks her hand in butter and just boom, throws it on the grill. I'm talking about like a baseball size, and I'm like, that's gonna kill me. I'm gonna die.
Number cholesterol on the thing. You slept a thing of cholesterol.
And it just like she starts making this thing, and she plops them on my plate, and they're kind of runny. And she knew I was allergic to eggs, so she was really careful on the grill and everything for me.
Absolutely.
And I got to admit, I mean, they were really good. And but I was amazed. It's like just plop, and I'm like,
he said, "Put some of that love on there. Put some of that love on there." That's what it was.
Put that love on there.
It's either butter or lard.
Yeah, I don't think I would have done the lard thing. I think that would have been too much for me. I would have probably passed out.
But again, you guys to take stuff serious, man. Eat right, eat healthy, run up the hills. Hey, we'll see.
So we're not saying that the young receivers of the Chiefs aren't doing that. What we're saying is this is a huge opportunity to get to where you need to be, because it didn't look like it last year. Yeah,
so. but if I'm OBJ, I'm getting an apartment in Kansas City and said, I'll come play. I want a ring. I want to play Patrick.
Well, the assumption, Nick. The assumption, Nick, is that they've reached out or they want him to come.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know that.
But still, if Hollywood Brown wanted to come to the Chiefs, he had other offers.
But I think they had a sincere interest in bringing him here.
They did.
The Chiefs might have had an interest in bringing OBJ last year, but I think, again, another year later, and I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm not saying OBJ is the answer.
I think what happened with Hollywood, I think the fans got Hollywood to sign here. Because I feel like
they had a hand in it.
I think the fans had a trigger in that one.
It was cool. It was Cool in the Gang, man.
Cool and the Gang.
That's what it was.
Yeah, that's it.
With that said, let's get it. We got to get into our sponsors before we close out here, guys.
All right, let's do it.
Because I know your son wanted to get to that Eclipse.
It's about halfway through, so I did promise I'd watch part of it. So there we go. First sponsor, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. He is your trusted real estate advisor. You can call Eric at 816-729-3785 or email him at esaleskc@gmail.com. If you're looking for somebody who's going to walk you through start to finish to get your house, your dream house, if you're looking for someone who you can trust to sell your house and get maximum dollar for it, and is a bulldog when it comes to contracts, this is your guy. So give Eric Haynes a call for the personal touch at 816-729-3785.
Proud sponsor, Chief Who?
That is correct. And our other proud sponsor is Mr. Dave Purdy with Edge Home Financial. Dave is a guy who has worked with me for the last couple of months to secure our mortgage. It's not been an easy process. I'm self-employed. So if you need a 1099 expert, this is your man. If you're W-2, it's a little bit easier, but still buying houses today is a lot different, and financing loans for houses is way, way vastly different than when I was in the business 20 years ago. So if you want an expert, give Dave a call at 816-405-5831. We all love Dave because he is pretty good. There you go.
All right. Let me get to the
All right.
Any
Gary
Lego fans out there?
What's that?
Curb Your Enthusiasm, you guys fans?
No, I'm not.
Wow. It was, arguably the most perfect finale of a series that I've ever seen.
I've never watched. I've watched a couple episodes, but no, not my cup of tea.
Let me make this real quick, fellas.
LG,
shout out to
man.
Gary, Lego, Kareem, Mango. That's it. Mango already probably did. Let's see here. Well, that's about it. Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not.
There's some more up there.
You know it
I think
is.
everybody went to go watch the eclipse. So there you go.
They did. I think so.
See-
I think Nick going on. Nick, Todd, John,
Cesar,
Sinclair, Joseph. Man, you know what? I honestly, guys, I think they did. They're watching the eclipse right now. They're going to watch the eclipse. So with that being said,
get
guys,
get the glasses on. I don't know that I don't think Hense's will work for the eclipse, but
Yeah,
give it a go,
cool,
buddy.
though.
Mine seeing the future of Brandon Wright.
When you come back on Wednesday and you're blind, we'll see.
Yeah. Oh, that's right there, the way to end the show. Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Enjoy the eclipse, fellas.
We'll be back Wednesday. Let's go.
God
God
willing.
willing. Peace out, everybody.
Thank you.